There is no reason a black woman cannot be smart, educated, and a wife. They just weren't trained how to.
Black women are more loyal to black men. We
You
are. Most
you
black
filed divorce.
women want to date a black man, but not every. I mean, I know there are a large percentage of black couples, and they date, and the majority are black and black.
The black
But
man,
black women are the most loyal to black men. I
black.
ask black women all the time, "Would you date outside the race?" Like, no.
Why did relationships become so bad? I guess that's what a lot of guys are.
They want to know.
Yeah, because you said, like you said, you come from Jamaica and you saw women who didn't have economic opportunities, but you're here.
Because my family migrated to the United States.
You've
My
been here
grandmother did.
But you've been here since
For more opportunities.
But you've been here since you were 4.
Correct.
So most of your life you've seen America. So it's more palatable for a woman like yourself to just do it alone.
I'm not saying that it's the better option. I'm not saying that's the option I want to have forever. I'm just saying going at it alone, or at least being able to support myself, makes me feel more secure in whatever happens in my life.
Okay. Well, that has nothing to do with men. That has how you perceive men. But how we started this is originally you said, I haven't prioritized it. Why do you think if you decide to prioritize it later that you're going to still have the same options as you do at 29?
Because I have a lot to offer.
It's pretty privilege. It's pretty privilege.
Yeah.
And it decreases. I mean, I would tell you, I don't want to say her name, but there's a woman who was considered to be one of the baddest around. There are a lot of them, a lot of black women in particular, and they're all over the internet.
But can I say this? I look better now than I did at 21 or 24 or even 25. Because sometimes people fall into their own later in life. They go to the gym, they start feeling themselves, they work out, they get into their own later. Not everyone looks like in college. I think I look crazy. So it just depends on the woman. I never prioritized my looks growing up.
Okay.
It was always my academics, my personality. I played basketball for 10 years.
Right.
I was an athlete. I was doing those things. I knew I was attractive, but that was not even raved about in my family. It wasn't a big deal.
But the thing is, the men have to share your sentiment. The men have to, I mean, I'm actively dating, and I'm going to tell you right now, the men at the level we're talking about typically avoid women over a certain age because their mindsets are just firmly set. They would kick it with them, hang out with them, but...
What's that certain age?
30. That's why I said 50%. I'm just saying, because the reality is, why do men of value who have all these options, why do men choose to get married? And there's usually one reason: family.
Okay.
Because if you don't want family, why risk the modern family court system, which we've already talked about? So family, and a woman over a certain age is past being able to deliver the amount of kids most guys want. It becomes math. And it's like, you may look better than you did at 21, but men are looking at it different. And I that's why I wanted to do this series, because what women truly believe and what men think are at odds. And all I'm trying to get women to do is recognize that, why is this not such a big issue in other communities? Why do beautiful non-black women with business and brains get bonded?
I think they have different cultures.
We were more married prior to 1965. We were the most married. We come from culture of family, village to raise a family. The hardcore reality is our women have turned away.
Do you think that they turn away because they become financially more
Nope,
secure?
you're not financially more secure.
That's not the research I see. I don't understand how we're seeing completely different things. That's crazy.
Okay, where are you getting? The Department of Bureau and Labor Statistics, the CDC, the Department of Health, the U.S. Census. You don't get much better than that. You may be looking at propaganda, but these are peer-reviewed. This stuff, this like the wage gap. This stuff has been peer-reviewed. It's just not true. Simply not true.
Do you think the women in the 60s were doing just as well as women are now?
It doesn't matter. In the 60s, more education does not translate into more income. You have more education, but you have more debt. And every time when I talk to college-educated black women, in particular, I had a conversation with someone, there's a video is going to drop. And she talks to a much more, and I said, you talking to elite level women, college graduates, that's an infinitesimally small group. The numbers I showed you can be verified by anybody. And it completely undercuts if you're doing better, then where is it showing up at? It's not in the bank. But you hear a lot of women say, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an this and that, and they're just freaking lying. They're lying.
They're lying. They just go lying.
Lying. I go on my Instagram. I talk to them every day. I'm an entrepreneur. What do you do? I'm selling. I want to get into real estate. Where was this video? And see, and how do you get women? How do you get women who are in denial, and then other women tell them, "Go ahead, girl, live your best life. Don't settle." So women are telling other women this stuff. And you know what's starting to happen? I'm gonna tell you what's starting to really happen. Becky, Marisol, Myling, and Jamila are saying, "Okay, you don't want Keith, you don't want Tyrone." They're going to take Black masculine studies at University of California, Fresno. Maria's learning how to fry chicken the way we like it. The Thai women, other races of women have sat back and heard black women for my lifetime say they don't need us. And they're saying, black men, according to the CDC, make the best, most involved fathers. We grew up in a gynocracy. We grew up, most of us raised by our mamas, so we are even more willing to listen to women. Black men are far easier to get along with than any other group that's really raised in a serious patriarchy. So this is why you're starting to see non-black women are actively competing. They're all over my Instagram, all over my YouTube. They're all in there because they listen to black women say, I don't want that average guy. I don't want this, I don't want that. And he got to earn this and earn that. And they're like, so you can't get upset when men who say black men's first choice would be to be with black women, but black women in mass aren't really prioritizing relationships. Not when you are value to us. You're prioritizing relationship, you've done what you want to do. And then it's like, all right. And it would be different that if the end result was a better, more agreeable woman, but the tendency is not. It tends to be a woman who has had more issues, more trauma, more gun shy, not nearly as hopeful. I had that video, matter of fact, I got a video up on Instagram right now about a married woman telling women to wait, a divorced woman telling women to wait, and they got a 23-year-old woman say, oh no, I don't want to do all this. Young women are hearing women in their late 20s, 30s, and 40s, and they're saying, I don't want to be like my aunt. I don't want to be like my mama. I want something different. What was I going to show you about this thing about this was about the real estate.
But I have employees. If we're going on maybe $1 million, then what, Kevin? What are we gonna refer this conversation? What if I do? It's a lot of people. Little Dirk. I mean, even though he's a rapper.
This woman was 26 years old. This woman is 26 years old, talking about where am I gonna get the millions of dollars I want? I can have a business and real estate, and what if in a year I'm making $5 million a year? College educated. And it's like,
I think right now everyone thinks having a business is easy and everyone can get rich quick and money's just gonna fall from the sky. I do agree that thought process It's everywhere. You see it on social media. You see everyone with a business. You see everyone making money. You don't really know who's doing it and who's not, because that's true.
This is why men look at women like yourself and say, okay, she owns her own business. She's at college. Men would like for women like you to be wanting to prioritize relationship. But the reality is, women like yourself don't want to prioritize relationship. That's just and so here's the question. What would you tell men who are wanting relationships, in particular marriage, to do, black men in particular, if women who are age appropriate like yourself aren't, what do you tell them to do? Wait?
Work on themselves, get therapy.
No, they're already ready to go. They're ready to go. They're ready to go. They've already done that work. They've
already done the inner work?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Keep building your empire.
What about get a non-black woman? Well, wait a minute. Why not?
If that's what they like.
No. That's what they like is black women, but black women aren't prioritizing relationship at their appropriate age.
So they went after the black woman, and the black woman was like,
"Yeah, they're like you. They're like you. They're like you, saying, "Hey, you may be cool. You're just not right for me. I'm not prioritizing. I'm not thinking about it right now." Doesn't have to be malicious.
Listen, I've dated, and I've met some crazy men.
We're not talking about the crazy ones. We're talking about the high value men, the men that got their shit. That's how I got into this business. Men who had gotten their minds right, their body right, their money right, got therapy, got on track, and they looked around and said, "Where are the women?" That's how I started this conversation.
That is not very common.
But that's not the question. You're in bizarre. Okay.
But this is a reality to a lot of people.
But no, it's not. This is Miami, and again, that's fine. But I'm asking what about the rest of the world? Miami is not the United States or the rest of the world. And I'm saying, what would you tell your brother if you had one? Your cousins, if they were those kind of men, what would you tell them if when they are ready to look for a wife to start building with, and the women who fit your category aren't, just for your reasons, not prioritizing? And what you told me is, wait. Sit over there and keep yourself busy until I'm ready to quit doing what I'm doing. That's basically what you said. Or do you see a different way?
I say ask her out, and
you already asked her out.
And what happened?
She said the same stuff you're saying. She's saying the same stuff you're saying. Similar stuff. Hey, no, I'm doing my own thing. So if I flip this and I said it was a black woman who was thorough and had her stuff together, and she was ready to start and build a family, and she ran into black men who were stuck on pause, not ready, what would you tell her to do? To just wait?
She's gonna date outside her race.
I said, what would you tell her?
To probably date outside her race.
All right, well, here's reality. Here's reality.
If he wants a wife now and she's not ready, then I guess he did out your race.
But
I think there are probably, like how you said, if I had a twin, maybe my twin is ready for
Thank you.
relationships.
You can't make it up, folks. I said it last night. That is always the answer. That is always the answer. It is, I'm not ready, but instead, if I'm not, go find another black woman. It is never go pick a different race. But with black women, it's usually go pick a different race. I said this last night. Y'all can go look on. I said it last night. And that's the honest
black women are more loyal to black men.
We
are.
Most
black women want to date a black man, but not. I mean, I know there are a large percentage of black couples, and they date, and the majority are black and black. Black women are the most loyal to black men. I ask black women all the time, would you date outside the race? Like, no.
Loyal?
No.
Okay, excuse me.
They will if they
ma'am, that's not, okay. That's the black women filed divorce at the highest rate of any race of women in this country. The average black marriage lasts 5 years. According to the numbers, you're not. You're the least.
I'm not in the least what?
Least loyal. You don't stay in your relationships with black men.
But what if he has issues?
See,
my father had
hold
issues.
Hold on.
I know a lot of men that have issues.
Okay, hold on. See, this is where it gets disingenuous. You just said something that you feel, but The black divorce rate is almost 75%. 8 out of 10 of those divorces are initiated by the woman. She is the plaintiff. Okay. The average black marriage lasts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. According to the numbers, you wreck your own homes. You're not loyal. You ask the average sister, how many relationships have you had? And like I asked you, how many times have you been in a relationship where a man has left you? Y'all leave. And it's always, I am still waiting to meet a woman who tells me on day one that the reason my long-term relationship ended is because I was at fault. It's always there was something wrong with the man. So you guys tell yourselves that you're...
That's happened for me once.
Okay.
It happened.
Once. But in the greater scheme of things, it's in the minority. And women tell each other, you're great, you're wonderful, we got our stuff together. And this is the delusion y'all continue to feed. And it's like, well, at some point, men who want a legacy are going to have to make a decision. And I think black women need to recognize that, look, it's not a matter of black men looking outside of the race. It's a matter of other races of women are actively coming to get black men.
So they were raised. I've seen.
Then blame y'all's mamas.
Maybe our moms did it on our own.
That's it.
And our mother.
Your mothers failed you.
Our mothers did it on their own.
Mothers failed you. Mothers failed you in relationship. They failed you. Yes, they did. And I wish I had my mom on here. Yes, they did. Baby boomers and Generation X women failed their daughters because you were taught to be individuals. Yeah. And that's not, you're not independent, but you don't make independent money. You were taught to be independent. Black men are actually more loyal than black women because they're still trying to date. They're accepting women who are larger. They're accepting women with kids. They're accepting women who have all these different fingers and hairs and nails and tattoos. I had to talk to a woman last night who was 23 years old. I said, if I put you in a room with the kind of men you said you want, would they pick you? And they were non-black men. She said, no. I said, if I put you in the kind of room with men you wanted and were black, would they accept you? She said, yes. Why? Because of our culture. Black men have accepted less, but now the thing is, y'all have not conceived of a world where black men said enough. They're not accepting it anymore. They're saying too much because all we're getting is accept us, 300 pounds and loud and ratchet and twerking. It's like, they're sick.
So what would what are they supposed to impart on their daughter? Because for me, I thought being independent was a good thing.
Nope.
I have friends who are Hispanic and their moms are constantly trying to get them to be with someone when they're younger. And to me, that's...
Well, because you were raised to be independent.
Exactly. So what would
Which is a failure because you can't be independent and provide for yourself. What would you tell your daughter? Just because you're educated... Shahara's Ali, shout out to you, sister. White women go to college to find a man. Black women go to college to prove they don't need one. Our mothers failed you because your mothers are actively your competition. This is why you see women who are in their 20s partying with their daughters in their 30s and 40s. I'm sorry, on Instagram, you can have this woman and this woman. You got mother-daughter. Competing because if your mama ain't married, she's still dating. And if you are 25 and your mother is 41, y'all are likely looking at the same kind of men. Women have not raised their daughters. Why do we have so many women over 40 still talking about, I'm 40 and I look good, 50 and fly? Your ass should be sitting the fuck down somewhere. You should be somebody's grandma baking cookies. But instead you got the short haircut, out here talking about you a diva. You can look around and it's like, oh, I'm good, I'm a diva and I'm this and that.
God.
So why, and then they're competing because like I'm 52 and I have women get angry because I don't date women my age. I'm like, I don't know.
What age group do you date?
Under 35. Because number one, I don't deal with the lack of fitness.
What if they're in shape and they're 36? Halle Berry looks great.
Okay, you asked what in general. I've dated older than that, but in general. But here's the thing. Why is the next lowest group of married women, white women at 54%? Because every other race knows that in order to have how many black women say we want generational wealth? You don't even have generations. The black family is not a black woman and kids. You weren't taught to partner. So the reality is a lot of women, like in your position, I think, honestly, when you in places that you don't like to talk about because it feels like it makes you look weak, you really want relationship, you're just scared of it because you don't know how to do it. Because you weren't taught. You weren't taught how to cooperate. The word submission is a dirty word. The word agreeable and average is a dirty word. We got boss bitches and bad bitches and divas. And you can't be a bad bitch in HR, in customer service. But you got a bunch of women on Instagram and YouTube telling young women to get out here and get the bag and such and so forth. Then you got 45 and 50-year-old women marrying 27-year-old dudes, and these women got money. And what are they doing? Settling just like the high-value men did. There is no reason a black woman cannot be smart, educated, and a wife. Just weren't trained how to. And then when we get to the age right now, the mindset is, I don't want to do something different because I don't want to reject my mother's teaching. It's almost like I don't want to say my mom is wrong, but the funny thing is, judge your mama as harshly as you judged your daddy. And then give your daddy the forgiveness you gave your mama, forgive them both, forgive yourself and move on. Because they did the best they could, but how many people have ever sat down and got their daddy's side of the story from their daddy's mouth? That's what's going on now. Men are starting to go back and get their father's side. Kanye West is doing that. Everybody know Kanye loved his mama. Even Kanye right now is talking about men's rights issues. He's like, you know what? My mama moved us from Atlanta to Chicago for this job, and she took me away from my best friend. I love my mama, but she took that from me. Now in his 40s, as a father and a husband, he's just now learning his daddy stuff. And what he didn't learn is how to be a man. So I'm gonna say this and let's kind of wrap it up. If black men are not fit for marriage, as a lot of successful black women would say, then why do you get upset when those very black men marry non-black women?
You know why.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I really don't, because you didn't want them. No, I don't.
And what about the high-value black men that choose not to
Okay,
date
well, here's the thing. I'll answer your question, but can you answer mine? You just smile.
Why do we get upset? Was that the question?
Why? Yeah.
Sure. It's speaking in like a large sense, but I mean, we want to be the first pick. I'll say that as a black woman. I love to hear black men that say black women are their first choice. I love to hear that. Do I feel like I hear that often? No. But I know a lot of black women that don't feel that way. I do.
I asked a specific question. Black men want to be with black women, but they don't want to be with. They think they're not fit. Then why do these same black women get mad or upset when these black men marry non-black women? You've kind of gone this way and that way, but you won't.
Because I can't speak for
you said you know why.
Because we want to be the first choice.
But you were the first choice and you said no.
I literally saw something on TikTok like yesterday about this.
And
the black woman said, I don't get upset when I see a white woman with a black man that I didn't want. Right,
but the thing is, that's one. So I'm just saying.
I don't know what the majority stance is.
But when I asked, you said you know. And the thing is, no, I don't.
All I know is that we want to be the first choice.
No, you know why I know? I think it's because you believe you own us.
Own you?
Yes, because so many black children are born to single parent households. black women are in charge of the black community. You see little boys and little girls. When does the average black boy see a male authority figure? In preschool? No. Kindergarten? Let me finish going. Preschool? Kindergarten? No. Elementary? No. The first time is somewhere in sports, junior high or high school, and it's one or two teachers. Men have progressively left teaching because of the issue with HBCUs and losing teaching accreditation. And less black male teachers, that's something else, the black tax. But because black women see us coming up, you're our mothers, you're our babysitters, such and so forth. This is why you can have black women half my age talking to me on my platform with such familiarity. Like, because black men are almost y'all's property. Y'all feel like they own us. Like, we are y'all's. And it's like, well, if I don't want you, I want to be your first choice. And if I say thank you, but no thank you, but go find another black woman. What the fridge toast is that? You don't get to tell him to go pick another black woman. He tried to get with you.
So because I don't want him, he should go date a white
girl? Well, the thing is, women say that they don't want these men because they aren't on their level, they're not worthy. So why is he worthy with Becky? That's the question. Because I didn't say he just went and didn't pick anybody. I said when he goes to marry somebody else. The implication is if he could marry Becky, Marisol, Myling, or Jamila, he could have simply married Keisha. But Keisha wants right of first refusal and then wants him to go find this one, and don't stop until you find a black one. No. Because all them other women are saying, y'all sound crazy. So we're going to come over there and be waiting right outside the house when she turned you down. We're going to say, you want some water? You want some Kool-Aid? I can make it. Yeah, they wait.
That voice.
I'm not lying. I am not lying.
Oh my God.
I'm going to do more on this later because here's the thing. And my point is I'm trying to get women to understand, black women in particular. Time is running out. You don't have all the choices you think you do. And here's the thing. The higher up you go, the more race loyal men are. Marrying out ain't the thing. Not in mass. It'll never reach over 10%. It'll never reach over 20%. Ever. As J-Lo. She learned the hard way. She was a Sean Puffy Combs, and I called that back then. I was like, she ain't gonna marry P. Diddy. She was getting a bunch of pub. Dumped P. Diddy, got with Ben Affleck. The new Bennifer. Oh, they gonna get married. I said, they gonna get married. Why? That's a white man from Boston. And when it got down to it, she wanted to marry him. He dropped her, married Jennifer Garner, went and made his 2 or 3 kids. 20 years later, they at the Super Bowl dance because he got his kids. Black women, we are all you got. That's it. We're all you got.
I have to say though, when you mentioned black women feeling like we own you guys, I've always seen black women coddling their black sons. Is that anything you've ever heard of before?
Yeah, it's called a son husband.
I've seen more of that ideology with mothers and their sons. If anything,
yeah, they make you
praise
hard.
Their sons.
They make their sons soft, and they make their daughters hard.
Yeah.
And jaded. Because they spoil their sons and they keep their sons like baby boy.
That happens a lot. And those,
but you know why? You know why? Because mama can't keep a damn husband. So son husband becomes the de facto man of the house. And she keeps him at an adolescent mindset to where he gonna get out and pay some bills and take care of mama and buy mama a house or whatever. That's why baby boy was so important. Because that's the typical son husband. That is why you see women who do that. When their boys are reaching about to be 18 years old, what do? They go out and have another baby. That's why you see women with a kid that's 17 to 18 and a 2-year-old. Then if they have a daughter, their daughters become not their daughters. Most of y'all never got to be little girls. Most of y'all never got to, you had to be the babysitter, the sister. You got women talking to their daughters like cussing their daughters out. Rude. So it ain't for the men to sit back and tell. It's for the children of these women to sit back and say, you know what? Maybe my mom did not give me, because Dear Mama, Tupac song, Dear Mama, remember that? You're a crack fiend mama, black fiend mama. You realize Tupac thought his daddy was dead. Tupac didn't realize his daddy was alive till Tupac got shot.
Wow.
And then he had to come to the realization his mama had been lying to him his entire lifetime. This is what happened. This is what continues to happen when you don't have balance in a household. The girls are raised to be independent. But then when you start to reach your womanhood, you start to blossom, the younger version of them, your boobs are sitting up your ass and they're like, maybe not you, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know it happens. It is popular. It is popular. I know. So
it ain't like they can nurture you. They see you as competition. They got a man to come by. He look at you a certain way because you 16. Your mama cussing you out.
It happens too often. And the men aren't the ones leaving. The trope was the reason mama's that way because the man left. No, she forced him out. So I'm going to ask you to do this. Really consider what you want your relationship life to be. Because you're 29. You're beautiful. You have business. You haven't been rude or overly. But I honestly think I see women like you, and part of me is I don't want to say it's a waste or something. I just think it's unfortunate that in the Black community that our women don't have balance. It's either this year I'm about self-awareness, separation, and balance. And so many women in our community may have beauty, brains, business, but the bonds, non-existent. You have a point with that one, sir.
Well, but see, you're still 29. You're still 29. You can do something about it. I'll say something after I get off camera, but I can't say it here. But anyway, thank you for coming out. I know y'all gonna be like, damn, she following them out. Mm-hmm.
Follow me at Justly Wong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get your girlfriend a bikini. Y'all go over there and thirst trap on her Instagram. Y'all better know. I said, till next time we out of here. Peace.
Bye.
No need to say